Chang, South Jeolla Provincial Capitol building, which was the site of the last stand of the Gwangju Citizens Army against the government army. And lastly, Sangmudae, the martial law branch headquarters for North and South Jeolla provinces. Sangmudae was used for the detention, beating, and torture of citizens arrested during the democratic uprising. With this memorialization of the historical sites of the protest, the May 18 Foundation also wanted to reshape the city and the May 18 spirit into a universal democratic vision for the future. With these monuments at historical sites, the Gwangju Biennial created an interesting landscape of Gwangju memory. The 1995 Gwangju Biennial not only visualized the May 18 spirit in an art exhibition, but also reframed Gwangju as a global cultural center. Witnessing the international boom of biennials in the global art world, South Korean art historians and curators planned to have a biennial, and finally decided to host the first biennial in Asia at Gwangju City. The Gwangju Biennial found its unique characteristic from the identity of Gwangju, which participated in resistance against the injustice perpetrated by those in power. Rather than narrowly viewing Gwangju as a victim of authoritarian politics, however, the biennial reinterpreted the meaning of the democratic protest for a broader discussions of the relationship between activism and art, politics and art, and memory and space. The chief curator Lee Yong-woo says that the biennial not only looked back at the past history and the present social and cultural issues, but also proposed a vision of the future culture. In other words, the biennial turned Gwangju into a political stage of contemporary art, which not only retrieved historical and personal memories of the event, but also produced advanced discourses of art. 7 main exhibitions were held in the biennial. For the International Exhibition of Contemporary Art Beyond the Borders, 7 commissioners selected 90 artists from 45 countries. Although this exhibition was more like a survey of contemporary art, it attempted to focus more attention on art and social political issues in the Third World. According to the chief curator, the main theme Beyond the Border meant that artists should endeavor to break through any kind of limit that hinders human creativity and freedom. Most importantly, the spirit of Gwangju resistance in May exhibited Minjung, an international artist addressing the Gwangju pro-democratic uprising and massacre. For example, Sonjang, South Mother of Gwangju, and Window of History of Gwangju O Mangwon-dong show how monumentalization of the real sites of protest and massacre function in memorializing trauma. Son's works show a mourning mother who lost her child. In Mother of Gwangju, a mother cries towards Sangmudae. A mother in Window of History of Gwangju Mangwon-dong laments in front of tombs at Mangwon-dong Cemetery. Most interestingly, the victims themselves do not appear in these works. Instead, in the middle of the paintings, the large image of Murung Mountain in Gwangju is placed like a portrait of the deceased. In Korean funerary custom, people grieve in front of a photograph of the dead. Son's work replaced pictures of victims with symbolic places of the Gwangju Democratic Uprising. His paintings thus invite audiences to observe the ritual of the mourning by using a representation of historical sites. The spaces in Gwangju itself become markers of the democratic movement and the spirit of the uprising. I am especially interested in comparing the biennial and the monuments in the physical places of the uprising and the massacre in Gwangju. Both participated in mediating memories and histories of Gwangju pro-democratic uprising through public space. However, their characteristics as spaces of memory are different. The monuments at the historical sites, the May 18 National Cemetery, Jeonnam City Hall, and Sangmudae reframe the physical memories and experiences of May 18 in permanent forms. However, Gwangju Biennial has an ephemeral quality since the exhibitions only last for a certain period. Urbanism theorist Paul Volio provides a useful framework for this comparison. Volio proposes two types of monumentality, the hard and the soft, in the contemporary world. According to Volio, the hard architectonic monuments in the classical tradition is located at a specific site and constructed from concrete physical elements. In contrast, a soft monument is immaterial and its representations are the vector of momentary, instantaneous expression. It can then be explained that the monuments at the historical site in Gwangju are hard monuments and the ephemeral exhibitions of the Gwangju Biennial are soft monuments. A comparison between the solid monuments and the ephemeral art exhibitions can explain the transformation of the symbolic meanings of the political space of Gwangju with a concern for memory and time in public space. Art historian Woo Hong mentions, quote, the transformation of political symbols in monumental spaces from hard to soft monuments, replicating a global shift initiated with the advent of technologies and accelerated by neoliberal market mechanisms. He argues that popularity of the soft monument is because aged hard monuments only evoke nostalgia to the people at the site, but no longer impress contemporary people. He explains the ephemeral visual spectacles are a new mode of political expression that can rearticulate the meaning of the hard memorial space and simultaneously can depoliticize the space with new meaning. My talk mainly focuses on the state-sponsored public art monuments with the following questions. How the rhetoric of peace and progress in the politics culture part represented the desire of the state to create the space of amnesia of the political conflicts and the past during the Joan regime. How soft and hard monuments formulated the memory of Gwangju pro-democratic uprising and the image of Gwangju were formulated in different qualities. How the contemporary visual art was interpreted in producing new and forward-looking images of the monuments. For my future study, I want to investigate the public's reaction and confrontation on the state's public monuments in order to understand the process of negotiation of memory and cultural identity. Also, I plan to compare the state-built pseudo-public space with temporal public spaces such as streets, squares, historical sites, and official buildings that were momentarily occupied by the real public's political expression.